All right, friends. I was playing around with the Logos Bible app on my iPad today, and I thought, there's so much cool stuff here. This would be a wonderful way to read the Bible. Um, so I love paper Bibles, but there's so much you can do digitally. I feel like I'm being drawn over to the dark side, so to speak. So especially with like e-paper devices now that can have nice screens that are like paper-like. But anyway, um, first thing, let me say that I almost everything I'm going to show you here, minus some Hebrew and Greek stuff, I think is free. I'm almost positive like you can do most of what I'm showing you is free. So on Logos Bible software app, you can read the Bible. Okay, so I have the King James version open here. Okay, and you can change a lot of the ways a lot of the things you do. So number one, you can change the font. So as you can see there, you can change the spacing in between. There's not that much customization there. Change the background, things like that, pretty standard. Change the fonts. Okay. Now it's gonna start getting really cool. So you can add red letter. I'm in Genesis, so there's no red letters. I don't like red letter. You can change how you want to read. Do you want it to scroll like this? Which I don't prefer reading anything like that when it comes to the Bible. I prefer like you can have it to where you're just like more like a book. They say that turning pages and having a physical location where the words stay is a good way to remember. So if you're going to read it, you should keep it on the same font, same layout, and if you were going to read regularly, you'd be more likely to remember because you can associate a physical space, a page, and things like that. So they say you're more likely to remember. Okay, so there are some other things. We're going to get into some really cool stuff. So one of the things you can do is, so you can even change the columns. A lot of Bibles are double column. One column, of course, a lot of Bibles are verse by verse, which you're like, well, I like it verse by verse. This is paragraph. Well, you could change that. Notice how I just changed it to verse by verse. You can remove, so here, there's not any section headings in this for some reason, but if you wanted to just only see the Bible text, you could do that. You can remove footnote indicators, chapter verses, things like that. You could literally just read the Bible text. That's pretty cool. Okay, I prefer those in there. I like knowing where I'm at. Footnote indicators. Okay, let's throw it to verse by verse, and let's talk about some things. Okay, so one of the really cool things about here is see where the word "and" is here. There's a note here from the King James marginal translators. It says, "In the evening was, in the morning was." Hebrew tells you. Now, let's say you're looking verse 9. You see this cross-reference. You can tap on that, tap it again, and it'll literally just bring it up. Tell me that's not the coolest thing ever. If you want to look up a lot of Bibles have cross-references and things in the margins. But then you got to go flip to it, and that takes time. You don't want to be pulled away from where you're reading to immediately. But, like, this is so unbelievably cool. I find this so cool. Okay, so another thing you can do, let's say, like, you want to know some stuff. So, when you're connected to the internet, okay, I'm not connected to the internet right here, right now. So, this is right now bringing up an English definition. If you're connected to the internet, which I'm doing right now, and you click on the word created, it'll bring up some stuff from Logos. So it'll give you parsing. So it says it's a verb, it's a call, means it's just a simple completed action, third person, masculine, singular, and then you can scroll through here. And I don't know what'll show up here with the free version. You might be able to. I don't know if Strong's is free, but this is the Lexham Research Lexicon. And so you could just buy one resource if you wanted to, and use it with use it like this. But it'll tell you it means to do, to carry out or perform an action, to make. And that's the reason why I like the Lexham Research Lexicon is because it doesn't give you glosses. Like if you look up Hebrew or Greek word in Strong's, it's going to give you like one word like do, act, make. Those are what's called glosses, and dictionary definitions are better. This is how you see it when you look up a definition in an English dictionary. It's going to give you a sentence where it defines what the word means. It's not giving you glosses are just rough equivalents, and they're not a full complete picture of the definition of a word. Okay, so like this can be really cool even if you know just a little bit of Hebrew and Greek, even this can be really cool. So, for example, I'll just show you a little tidbit from Hebrews chapter 12, and let's look at verse 18. I'm sorry, verse 17. So it's talking about Esau. It says, Esau, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected, for he found no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully with tears. Okay? So there's debate about, and some people have preached that Esau was trying to seek the place of repentance. And they say it is place of repentance. Okay, so if you look up the word it here, it's going to bring up the Greek word, and it's going to tell you it's a pronoun, it's a personal, it's third person, accusative, just means it's an object, singular, feminine. Okay, so whatever the it is, it's something that's singular, feminine. So if Esau was singing place of repentance, let's bring up place. Place is singular masculine, so it is not that. Okay, what else could it be? Let's just look up blessing. Singular feminine. Okay, so one of the tricky things is pronouns in Hebrew and Greek and adjectives have to match the noun that they modify. So it, because it is feminine, it's referring to something else that's feminine grammatically, which would be the blessing. There's just some cool stuff you could just find out with taps of buttons. So say, for example, verse 14 says which. Which is going to be something singular masculine. Follow peace with all men and holiness. Holiness is masculine, so you got to have holiness. Peace is feminine. So the witch that you have to see the Lord, for example, is the holiness. Okay, this is just some really cool stuff. So I don't know. Let's just go to some random passage in Proverbs. Okay, let's say you're reading Proverbs chapter 1. The Proverbs of Solomon. Oh, look, there's some footnotes here on Proverbs. Okay, let's verse 4. To give subtlety. Now it's going to give you some places where this concept is found. Simple. You can go to the Lord preserveth the simple. Interesting. Discretion. Okay, so you're like, okay, what is discretion? Well, here's a marginal note. Advisement, the King James translators say. You can look up the word discretion. It can mean a plan. It can mean a thought, a plot. Discretion, see? And it gives the trait of judging wisely and objectively. Okay, so there's just so much cool stuff that you can do with this. And the great thing about this is, pretty sure if you have even the free version, will show you these things. See where it says noun, common, feminine, singular, absolute. Pretty sure it'll still show you it. And I don't know what it'll show you in terms of actual Hebrew or Greek lexicons. That you might be able to get some free ones. It might even come with a free Strong's. I don't know. I'm a Bible translator. We're planning on translating the Bible, and I have invested a lot of money into Logos Bible software, looking ahead to that in the future. And so what I see for resources might not be the same thing that you'll see. But I know this King James text with all these cross-references and footnotes is free. And there's so many other things you can add on to it. You can look at commentaries, and you'd have to play around with it. But I just wanted to show off, I think this is so cool to use for the Bible. Now, I don't like reading the Bible on a screen, but, there is just so much utility to having the Bible like this. Just tapping words. You want to know what they mean, you can look them up and things like that. So I just wanted to share. I was super excited about this. This is what you can do in reading the Bible with the Logos Bible software app. You can read like this. You can customize this on the iPad, on the computer. There's even more customization. Probably on the phone, there's probably a lot of the same. It might be almost all of the same stuff. I'd have to play around with this, but you can read this on iPad. You can get it on an Android tablet. Things like that. So if you this is interesting, let me know what your thoughts are. I would love to have a conversation or discuss things on, or if you have questions, leave a comment, like and subscribe, share the video if you thought it was cool. All right, thank you so much. Have a nice day.